Yeah, I gotta tell you about my favorite tool right quick, yo. My favorite tool, Ryobi's Airstrike Nailer. That thing gets it done. It is so convenient to not have to haul around an air compressor. Got this long cord dragging, bumping into everything, knocking stuff over. When I tell you this thing is convenient, this thing is convenient. I think you get like 1,000 something shots off a single charge. I don't know, I'm not counting. I just pop a cartridge in and I'm good to go. I think I'm at like, I don't know, 4 or 5 projects now off a single charge. It's still not dead. This thing just keeps going. And I started thinking, I'm like, yo, I value this tool. But the reason why is because this thing is consistent and this thing keeps going. The tool wouldn't be as valuable if it didn't hold a consistent charge. It wouldn't be as valuable if every time I used it, every single shot, I had to recharge it afterwards. It's like a gun, yo. God forbid you get in a situation, you want something that's going to put somebody down. You don't want to have to shoot a gun, reload again, shoot again, reload, then shoot on repeat. Ideally, you'd want something that's a one and done. In the event, hey, I missed my target or the first one didn't get the job done, you want to make sure you can quickly keep going. Anyhow, I keep seeing this message keep going. Like, it's like that, the energy. I'm seeing this thing universally, like everywhere. Like, I go on YouTube, I watch a movie, like I'm seeing this message. You know how they got the ads on YouTube sometimes? Normally an ad is like 30 seconds, a minute, maybe 2 minutes tops. This thing was 56 minutes long. Basically, Steve Harvey was narrating while you saw the visual of himself going through his day. So he said, I get up 4:30 in the morning, I go down to my golf cart and I drive down to my studio where I record the morning show for about 4 hours. And you're actually seeing all this as he's narrating the process. This is his routine every single day, he said. He goes on to say, yeah, I have bad days, but I can't let bad days keep me in bed or keep me down. It's 9 million people waiting to hear what I got to say each morning. It's 9 million people depending on me to be their source of energy, inspiration, and motivation. As soon as he said that, I'm thinking in my mind, that's valid. You need to be able to do this. You need to be willing to do this every single day. It's people that need this every single day. Never mind who's not interested, who doesn't need this. That's fine. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for those that need this. It's people that need to hear your voice every single day. It's people that's making that long commute to work while hearing your voice every single day. So you got to get up and do this joint every single day. And if you're not going to be committed to the few, how the hell are you going to be committed to many? Greatness is not an act. It's a lifestyle composed of habits. People don't regret having done the things they did that didn't work. They regret what they didn't do that could have worked. Y'all remember the movie The Fate of the Furious? Vin Diesel was racing the Cuban Mile at the beginning of the movie. He was using his cousin's car. His cousin's car was jacked up, slowest car on the island. What did he do? He did the quick modification. Take everything off. They stripped the car butt naked. He said if it ain't the wheels of the engine, remove it. He's racing the fastest car on the island, and he's got the slowest car. The whole time, he's racing. They're trying to slow him down. At one point, they're throwing stuff in front of him, motorcycles and crap. And no matter what was thrown at him, his mindset was, yo, I'm winning this race no matter what. Gas pedal went up in flames. What'd he do? He stomped that gas and kept going, yo. He had that determination, like, yo, I'm crossing this finish line first. Yeah, so watching that joint the other day, like, immediately I got the takeaway that, yo, D, you need to keep going, to the point where this thing becomes like a rhythmic vibration where you just involuntarily, you develop a habit of it. You know what I mean? You don't even realize you're doing it. It's like it becomes musical. Matter of fact, that's what actually makes a great musician, is somebody that can keep going. You want to sustain that attack. So like a gunfight, you miss your attacker the first time, you prepare for the shot again. Let's say you limited on bullets, you know what I mean? The song is only but so long. You take a shot, you miss, and you keep on attacking every chance you get until you finally could get the melee attack. Yo, did that make sense? Frick it. I remember I was having a conversation with my cousin one time. This was not about music, by the way. I told him, I was like, yo, I effed up. And he was like, bruh, don't even acknowledge it. When you acknowledge stuff, that's when everyone else is able to acknowledge it. But yeah, like I said, even as it pertains to music, yo, that's what makes a great musician, is someone that is able to just keep going, not even acknowledge the mistake. The faster the recovery, this is the thing. No one else knows. And who's to say you made a mistake? You know what I mean? If you recover and you clean it up real quick, it could have been intentional. It's the great thing about music, is only the composer knows. So as long as you're grounded in the rhythm, if I'm deep in the pocket, pause. All right, scenario time. Dudes, you know how to keep going. When you deep in the pocket, you know how to keep going. You got a goal in mind, and you ain't stopping till you reach that goal. Like a warrior. Warriors don't make excuses. Warriors get it done. Heroes, even though sometimes they may be up late, still rise before the sun. You just got to keep in mind not to get too addicted to the fun. See, the thing about addiction is a power. It's a power that You make addiction work for you by assigning purpose to it. Once this thing has purpose assigned to it, now it becomes work. Now it's serving you. It's working for you. If it's something that's been working against you, as long as you assign purpose to it and make that thing work for you, eventually that thing will start to become restless, famished, exhausted. Bye-bye to the addiction once the fun is done. We dream without fear. Why then allow fear to get in the way of realizing our dreams? Old proverb says, wisdom is principle. Get it. But in all you're getting, make sure to get understanding. And if you're wise, you'll begin to understand you first, because you'll understand that it's necessary. It's necessary to change the microcosm of yourself in order to even have a shot at changing the macrocosm of society. That means you got to first be self-aware. You got to be aware of the fact that a lot of your nature, your tendencies are involuntary. And you don't shit on somebody for their involuntary tendencies. You don't go screaming at a baby for crying because that's their nature. They can't speak. That's how they communicate. Or pop a child for putting stuff in their mouth, a toddler, because that's their nature. They feel with their mouths. They're learning. Life is new to them. You ever just stop and ask yourself why you do the things you do? What is your... You know, it's funny. I seen a quote recently that said, I'm going to frick this up too. Something to the effect that never trust words. Some people have sugar on their lips and venom in their hearts. And I'm like, yo, I frick with that quote, yo. That's me. I said, yo, my zodiac sign is a Scorpio, full of venom. I'm toxic. That's why all I do is study personal development. I have to every single day fight against my own nature. Jordan Peterson, you should be an absolute monster, and then you should tame it. Truth be told, people respect venomous creatures. I know I do. If I don't have to put up a fight with a venomous creature, I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? Unless it's absolutely necessary. You got to flip the switch. You got to realize, like, hold on, not everything that's said to be bad is actually a bad thing. And a major part of that requires not seeing things for face value. This is why it's necessary. Matter of fact, this is why it's vital to have understanding. I got 3 sons, yo. My biggest sources of inspiration, okay? My biggest sources of inspiration, motivation, and expectation, because I expect great from my kids, but they also expect great from me, conversely. So I don't know if anybody's ever seen the movie Me, Myself, and Irene, but like those kids, that's my kids. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not being braggadocious. Like, those are my kids, yo. Them 3 geniuses, like these kids. So my youngest, I'll be in the kitchen and I'll hear him on his tablet. He's got that joint like on full blast. He's always on his tablet. I'm in the kitchen getting a snack or something, and I'm listening to whatever he's doing on the tablet, and I'm hearing like the mitochondria goes in, and I'm like, the frick is this boy? Like, what is he listening to? Like, all he does is absorb information, like information pertaining to animals, pertaining to nature and biology. Like, this boy, like, he is into this stuff. He knows a lot. He's always coming up to me. He's 8. He's always like, yeah, did you know that bees do this and blah, 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 and blah. He's telling me all the facts. He's breaking it down, yo. Like, I'm like, sometimes I'm like, yo, what are you playing? He's like, oh, it's called Little Alchemy. I'm like, oh, okay, yo. Like, that's what's up, yo. My middle son, this boy is super athletic, yo. He's more of a hands-on or a physical type of learner. Like, anything he touches physical or does physical, like playing ball, running, like anything. He'll be in the backyard doing backflips. And I'm like, what you doing? He's like, oh, I'm teaching myself how to do a backflip. Oh, okay, cool. Next thing I know, he's backflipping off of trees and stuff. I'm like, the frick are you doing? If I wake up to work out or go running in the morning, he's right there with me. Like, matter of fact, he's asking me the night before, like, hey, we going to the gym tomorrow, 6 a.m.? Yeah, so oftentimes I find myself having to take a step back and reevaluate how I go about parenting. So me and my kids, we'll be in the middle of a dialogue and I'll make a point. We'll be going back and forth, and they'll make a point stronger than my point. And I'm just like, yeah, you're right. I just got to shut up at that point. Like, yeah, you're right. You know what I mean? Like, it's supposed to be thinking, yo. You know, I think it's not the case all the time. I mean, sometimes they get the better of me when it comes to the debates or the dialogue. Sometimes I get the better of them. So, I mean, if I lose one, it's like, all right, I take my loss, you know, and all right, I'll catch him on the next one. Anyhow, my oldest son, this dude, when it comes to technology, this dude is a freaking mastermind, yo. This dude is a genius. In our family room, we got an Xbox. That's a privilege for them, you know. They do what they got to do. They can play Xbox. They play Xbox every day, but they got to do what they got to do first. The Xbox only has 2 controllers. He's like, all right, no biggie. I'll just, you know, do this and that. He's like, oh yeah, all right, I got the Xbox sunk to my phone. All right, now you can play the Xbox with the Wii controllers if need be, and vice versa. You can play the Wii with the Xbox controller. The other day we was in the car. He was on the phone with his brother, and I hear his brother telling him like, yo, stop freaking with the Xbox. And he's like, I'm not. He's like, yes, you are. Yo, I can see you doing. He's like, I know you're doing it from your phone. You keep doing this and doing that. So like, he's controlling the system. We're not even at the house. He's controlling the system. We're in the car, right? We're an hour from the house. He's controlling the system from his phone in the car. I'm like, this kid, oh my gosh. Earlier today, my middle son is like, yo, Julian's a genius. He's like, he done sunk the Xbox system to our TV. So now we don't even have to come in the family room anymore. We can just play Xbox straight from our TV in the bedroom. I'm like, how the frick he do that? He's like, yeah, he put it on his phone. I'm like, yo, this boy is a genius, yo. Like, these kids be figuring stuff out. The crazy thing is, it's always after I tell my son, like, no, you can't do this, or no, you can't do that. Like, he came in the room earlier and was like, can I use the Xbox controller? And I forgot what he said. I was taking a nap. So I'm irritated because you didn't broke my sleep. Now I'm taking a nap. You know, you coming in and ask me about Xbox. I was like, nah. Every time I tell him no, it's like, okay, I didn't hit a roadblock. And now his mind just goes to work figuring out a solution. We did a personality assessment, and identical, yo. His personality and my personality aligned identically. He scored on the assessment the exact same score that I scored. My attitude is like, yo, these some big shoes to fill. Don't be doing that clown shit. His attitude is, we all gonna have bad days. Cool. Stay grounded. You going through ish, go around it. Like, he figures stuff out. Those were actually lyrics in one of Peace freestyles that I happen to notice my son and I embodying the spirit of. Yo, he, like, anytime I say, nah, you can't do that, no, or I, put up some type of preventative wall, he always figures out how to knock it down. So my wife, she was not with the whole idea of them having cell phones. So I was like, well, here's the thing. He asked me, he's like, if I could figure out a way to get my own cell phone, can I have a phone? I was like, yeah. I didn't consult my wife. I should have. I'm just thinking, yo, if you're willing to raise the money, if you're willing to work for it, I'm not going to tell you what you can't buy. You know what I mean? She's like, yo, hold on. I got this concern, I got that concern. And she's running down the list of safety concerns and what have you. But I had already told him it was all good. So I gave him my word. I told her, I said, yo, I fricked up. That's my bad. I didn't know he was capable of doing it. This boy raised his own money. He's now 13 years old. Bought not just one phone, brand new, by the way, but 2 new iPhones. Him and his brother came together with their money, and he had more than his brother. So he purchased his and then shared money with his brother so his brother could get one as well. Took him less than 2 weeks to do it. I was like, yo, this nigga here, yo. Like, this boy is not going to be stopped, yo. Like, it's not happening. But it's crazy. Like, more and more, I'm seeing that each of my kids have that. They embody that, like, I won't be stopped kind of attitude. It comes out in different ways. Back before I was taking them to be trained, I used to teach them in the garage how to box. Like, I used to, just like Ryan Garcia, which I'm going to get into that in a moment. But sometimes I had them doing a lot, yo. I had them working on the bag. I had them working on their foot placement, movements, all different things. But every now and then I would have them spar with each other. And my oldest son, I don't know if it was a cheap shot or not, he blasted my middle son right in the face. Pow! Hit him, yo. I mean, stuck him hard. My middle son, yo, just like King Ryan, yo, this boy, just like King Ryan and some of his other footage. All right, we'll get to last night in a minute, but he got back up like it was nothing, like he never got hit and kept fighting. I was like, yo, you good? He's like, I'm good, and kept going. With that being said, like, it's funny because my wife and I, we be messing with my son like, yo, that's little Garcia right there. That's little Garcia, because all 3 of my kids got different texture hair. And I got mixed kids. He's got that Rico Suave, like Latin, Ryan Garcia style hair. He was upset, by the way, watching the fight last night, because that's his boy. My attitude with the fight is like anything, like any sporting event. When it comes to football teams, like I'm not one of them people that pick a favorite. I choose sides. Like my attitude is always the same thing. Like, may the best man win. Like, I'm trying to see who wants it more. That fight had me on the edge of my seat, yo. I'm like, I will say this, yo, I was disappointed because I knew ultimately somebody had to lose, but it's tough, yo, when you got a perfect streak. Like, I was really hoping that it would have came down to a decision, because when it comes down to a decision, the way I look at that is, okay, he kind of got the better of me in this moment. That doesn't necessarily make him better than me, but he got the better of me in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what a decision it's different from a knockout. A knockout's like, nah, I whooped you. So let's call it what it is. You know what I mean? With a decision, you know how it be in boxing, yo. People, even with football, people will say, oh, they had the refs in their corner, or they paid the refs, or the judges. Like with a decision, when stuff comes down to decision, it sparks controversy. You know what I mean? So there's never like a true for everybody. I mean, all across the board, like, oh yeah, this was the man, this was the winner, yo. Like, nah, he's the best. Nah, you always gonna have people that's like, nah, yo, F that, he got robbed on one side of the spectrum, and then you gonna have, the people that say, nah, he won that joint fair and square on the other side. Yo, wish there was no room for that in this particular situation, because this one, Tank clearly won the fight. I love the fact that his trainer wasn't calm with him in the corner. His trainer was like, yo, get at him, develop some motherfucking adrenaline. You giving him too much respect. This is the last thing I'm gonna leave you with. Giving people respect is essentially giving people energy. So before you respond to anyone, remember, your response is also your agreement to establish an energy connection with that individual. That energy connection may change your energy field and vibrational frequency. And that's just the power of speaking. Be mindful of who you let touch you, because energy transfer is real. And you can only win when your mind is stronger than your emotions, or simply put, how you feel.